Okay, so drove to work this morning and I've been on the road for about 20 minutes or so and just noticed that this is where my coolant gauge is staying. So I believe we have a problem. What's up, YouTube? So this morning it looks like my thermostat's decided to be stuck open and the car did not warm up at all on my entire trip down this morning, and so obviously I'm gonna need to fix that. But first I thought, what would you do in this same situation if, say, you didn't have tools or couldn't get a hold of the part? Maybe you don't have any money. Maybe it's like it is this morning and it's dark outside and it's cold as hell and you just need some way to get the heat to work temporarily. And right now I'm kind of in the same boat. As I said, it's extremely cold outside right now. We've had a really cold weekend and also it's dark. I really don't feel like going and finding my tools and getting them out, but I do have a cereal box. Okay guys, so what we're doing here is we're going to take this box and we're going to try to use it to block off some of the airflow through the radiator. So all I'm doing here is we're just going to be cutting it open so that it'll stay flat. And then once we've done that, we're going to take our X-Acto knife here and we're basically going to cut a hole in the center so that at least some air is still getting through, so that we don't overheat it or so it gets some kind of airflow. And then that's pretty much it. We're just going to take this and go attach it to the radiator. So then we're going to take this monstrosity and some tape, what I had laying around the house, and see if we can't get a temporary fix. Okay guys, so I waited a little while until the sun came up some so we could at least somewhat see what we were doing here. And what we're going to do now is right behind here, you can see the condenser, and we're going to take this and shove it up in the hole. Okay, and we're basically just using tape anywhere that I can fit it to secure it to the front here. Oh man, that looks really bad. Okay, so only thing left to do now is, I guess, drive it and see what happens. So I still don't know if this is working yet. It hasn't come up any. But I did get behind a really ricey Civic right here with some horrible looking Altezza taillights. I thought I'd show you guys that. But as far as the needle goes, still no movement. Okay guys, it's been a couple minutes later and we have had a small amount of needle movement. Look at that. It's not on the very bottom. Okay, so end of our drive here and we've got a little needle movement. It did come up some. And the heat did get a little warmer, but it definitely nowhere near where it would normally be. Ooh, I don't know if I would call this a success. I mean, it warmed up a little more, I guess, than not having anything on there. It's definitely not fixed. For that matter, I don't actually even know if it stayed on the car. Why don't we go look? Yeah, let's see here. Oh man, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it did stay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in this auto parts store and just get an actual thermostat. Okay guys, so we're back now. The next thing we're gonna have to do is we're gonna need to get this thermostat off, which is a pretty easy situation. Let me see if I can get where you guys can see this a little better. Right there's the thermostat housing. You've basically just got a couple bolts and a clamp, and then we can see what's going on in there. Alright guys, so I got the thermostat out, and I didn't mention earlier that I had replaced this only a couple months ago. I've actually gone through this twice. With this car I run 180 degree thermostat. If you know anything about GTPs, a lot of people will run a lower temperature thermostat to try to keep engine temperature down. It helps with reducing knock retard in the supercharged engine. But I have a suspicion as to why I keep going through thermostats and why they keep failing the same way. So we're going to do a couple tests so I can kind of see if what I'm thinking is correct, and then hopefully show you guys some stuff too. Okay, so first of all, here are a couple thermostats. This is a thermostat that I just bought. If you look at how this is constructed, you can see what it's meant to do. A thermostat is basically just a valve that keeps the coolant in the engine so it can't pass through into the radiator until it reaches a certain temperature. And if you look very closely, hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Inside here is where the valve is. You can see kind of from the back. This spring keeps it closed, and this cylinder that you see in the middle here is actually a temperature sensitive piece that pulls this valve open when it gets hot. And then when it cools down, it's supposed to close. This is the thermostat that I took out. If you'll notice, one big difference, it is wide open, and this is in the house in temperatures, you know, well below what it should be. And if you'll look, and this is going to be kind of hard to see, but there's a little metal mechanism right here that catches the valve if it opens too far and keeps it from being able to shut again. And that's part of this fail-safe mechanism that these have. What we're going to do next is we're going to try to pop this little piece back and see, first of all, if it returns to a closed position. Oh, which it did. It was actually only caught on one side. So if you look, it is completely closed right now. So the next thing we want to know is this thermostat still good? And will it still open when it's supposed to? And I'll show you how to test that. I've got to test this with. This is basically just a pot of regular water. I've just got to the boiling point. We are going to take the thermostat that I just took out, which you see we've now reset and is completely closed. We're going to hold it with pliers because I don't enjoy losing skin or being burnt. That happens plenty enough at work. And we're just going to take this and put it right in there. And if you'll look now, I don't know if you guys probably can't see it, but if I pull it out for a second, it is starting to crack open. Put it back in there. Okay, and right now it has opened a fair amount, but you can see it is opening, which would tell me that this is probably a good thermostat. Okay, so after testing, I have determined it looks like this thermostat is still good. It does open like it's supposed to. It does reclose like it's supposed to. So I'll explain what I meant earlier about having a suspicion as to why this is going on. This is a 180 degree thermostat, and the car is designed for a 192 degree thermostat. And I have not reflashed the ECU yet, so the fan points where they come on are still set at factory, which is usually around 210. And so I think what's happening is when I'm sitting still, when the car tries to warm up to where the fans come on, which is normal, that's too hot for a 180 degree thermostat. And what's happening is, because of the way these thermostats are designed, it's making these safety catches catch. And that's what's making it stick open. So I don't think this is a problem, but what I am going to do, because it is winter right now and it is pretty cold outside, is I think I am going to swap this for the regular factory thermostat, go back to 192 degrees, just for the winter. And then what I'm probably going to do is, come summertime, hopefully do a video with swapping this one back in, and maybe at the same time show you about reflashing the ECU to bring your fan temperatures down so that everything will work together. But for right now, we're just going to get this back in and see what happens. Okay, so I let the car run long enough to make sure that most of the air, if not all the air, was out, and it's already come up quite a bit from where it was before. So now we're just going to take it on a little drive and make sure that it heats up to where it's supposed to, doesn't heat up more than it's supposed to, and we'll see how it does. All right, we are just about at the end of our drive, and the temperature has stayed rock solid right there at that mark. So I'm gonna say at this point, I'm gonna call it fixed. All right guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys learned something. If you do have one of those fail-safe thermostats and all of a sudden your engine's not warming up, make sure you pull it out and take a look at it. It could be as easy as just those fail-safes holding it. That can just be reset and put back in. But my car is doing good now. I have good heat. Everything's good to go. All right, so this will be the last thing that I film in 2017. You guys may not see it until 2018, since I don't think I'm going to upload this one until next week. But it's been an awesome first month and a half with you guys. I have a lot of stuff planned for 2018, so please think about subscribing. If you have any ideas for videos, drop me comments. I do read every single one of them, and I do take every single one of them into consideration. I have a lot of ideas on my own, but I really want to do stuff you guys want to see, so let me know. And once again, thank you for the people who have subscribed. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. Appreciate it.